just people who drive their cars. Doug Erickson joins us next on the Todd Herman Show. Right now, we'll go check traffic with Right Way Traffic.
The crash in Tacoma is over to the right-hand shoulder, southbound I-5 at 48th Street, northbound 405 in Renton, right at 167. There's a stall that's partially blocking the exit ramp there, causing some sluggish traffic as you approach that exit. This report is brought to you by Phillips Law Firm. If you or a loved one have been injured in a car accident, call Phillips Law Firm today for a free case evaluation. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. You're listening to AM 770 KTTH.
Hey, we've got big breaking news on the Todd Herman Show.
The AM 770 KTTH mobile app is the best source for breaking news from your favorite local conservative voices. Listen to full episodes from Jason Rance and Todd Herman.
Because sound trends and pyramids.
Get breaking news notifications. Listen to exclusive podcasts. Read the latest stories from KTTH.com.
Hey, it's Todd Herman. AM 770 KTTH is always streaming live on the KTTH mobile app.
Brought to you by Absolute Return Solutions, your retirement fix.
Hey, so quick, tell me how you understand this sentence. Ready? 5 Yardley show, listen, speak, level, care. It's nonsense, right? This is because the words are scrambled, but I'm actually looking at a piece of radio copy for Dr. Lee Yardley, D.C. An old piece of copy. I've listened to Dr. Lee Yardley shows for years. I've heard his patients speak to the level of care, right? Now put the words back in order. Dr. Lee Yardley, and I'm a patient of his, so I speak from firm experience. He helps your brain get the message of healing through to your body in a way that's not scrambled, because life and impact, etc., can just screw up the brain-body connection. Now understand, he does this very gently and very in a very non-invasive way. That's his trademark. And that's how he helps people out of pain, by restoring the brain-body connection. Call Lee Yardley to see if you're a candidate for care at the Yardley Institute. 866-529-1105. That's 866-529-1105.
According to the National Institutes of Health, a weight loss program needs 6 key components to help people lose weight and keep it off long term. Only 2020 Lifestyles has it all, starting with physician supervision. Only 2020 has physicians overseeing every aspect of your weight loss program. The second and third keys to successful weight loss: nutrition and exercise. As a 2020 client, you will meet with a certified registered dietitian every week and work out with an exercise physiologist 3 times a week. Plus, you'll be eating real food, not packaged food. Key number 4 to successful weight loss is lifestyle counseling. Only 2020 has licensed psychologists to help you build healthy new habits. And only 2020 offers complete education from real experts. The final key to success is long-term support. Find out about the only weight loss program that has it all at 2020lifestyles.com. Available in Bellevue and Seattle.
Hello, beautiful. I'm Amy Eric, founder of Madison Reed, a hair color company I named after my daughter. One of the things I value most in life is time. Time to spend with my daughter, time to spend with family, and the time I put into my company that's reinventing the way women color their hair. The busiest, most successful women I know use Madison Reed, the amazing hair color hack. In under an hour and for less than $25, Madison Reed delivers gorgeous, shiny, multi-dimensional, healthy-looking hair with an ammonia-free formula. You'll look like you just came from a salon, but the reality is you have more me time to do what you love. Things get busy. Let us take care of you and your hair. Find your perfect shade at madison-reed.com and get 10% off plus free shipping on your first color kit. Use code Seattle Radio. That's code Seattle Radio. Try it. Love it. That's the beauty of Madison Reed.
Take us anywhere on the AM 770 KTTH app. Powered by the Absolute Return Solutions podcast. The Todd Herman Show, live and local on AM 770 KTTH and the KTTH app.
Welcome back to the Todd Herman Show with records, revenues, all flowing into the public coffers. You'd imagine that someone somewhere might say give the people some of their money back, but that is certainly not going to be what Jay Inslee does. Joining us now, Senator Doug Erickson. Welcome back to the Todd Herman Show, Doug.
Hey, great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. So I guess our governor is calling it a carbon tax, but I'm confused because when we exhale, that's carbon dioxide. So he seems to be not taxing the carbon coming out of chemical plants and airplane facilities, but just that out of the cars we drive. Why is that, Doug Erickson?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. If you think that the governor thought there was such great support for his tax on energy, which is really what it is, tax on energy, he wouldn't be exempting every single corporation in Washington State from paying the tax. So right now, what he has proposed is only a 30-cent gas tax increase on the people of Washington State and about a 17% increase in your home heating fuel bills.
So this is a tax on the citizens, and I have a theory on this. But I wonder if you have a theory on why Jay Inslee is doing it this way. Is it just because of lobbyists?
Well, I think if you have a lobbyist in Olympia, you're going to win on this issue. But I think the longer-term goal for the Democrats is they want an income tax. And you have to always look, everything they do in Olympia has to be looked through the lens of they want an income tax. And so what they're trying to do right now is to raise taxes as hard as they can on working-class families, and so they'll come back later and say, well, if we just had an income tax, I could lower your energy tax, carbon tax, B&O tax, sales tax, name your tax you pay. They'll say they'll lower it. I think that's their long-term goal on this whole thing.
Right. Now, see, you and I agree on this theory, and I contend that this is a government of Democrats who are purposely hurting people.
Yeah, definitely. When you run a bill supposedly to save the environment, supposedly to save snowpack, the wine, grapes, and Walla Walla, all these other things they talk about, but the only people you tax are working families who have to drive their kids to school, and you exempt oil refineries, which I'm good with because I have 2 oil refineries in my district, and you exempt jet fuel, and you exempt everybody else out of it. Who's left to pay the tax? It is just crazy what they're actually producing right now.
And what is the impact to a working family? I mean, what is the impact to any family on this? Let's talk about money. I mean, what are we saying? A 20% increase in the cost of driving and in heating your home? Is that right?
Well, out of the gate, it would be a 10-cent gas tax increase, going up quickly to 30 cents, and it's about a 17 to 20% increase in the cost to heat your home or cool your home in the summertime, or heat your home in the winter. But I guess what's interesting about it is they exempt every corporation and specifically target it at working families. And that's really, at the end of the day, what it's all about. So a 30-cent gas tax increase on working families.
So this is unconscionable, and it's machine politics at the very, very worst. How do they make a claim right now? I know what the end goal is. You and I agree it's an income tax. They need to hurt enough people to get an income tax. How do they then intend to get around the constitutional prohibition against a graduated income tax? Because in our state, income has to be taxed at the same level for everybody. Are they just going to ignore that? Or, Doug, do they believe that the Seattle Supreme Court, which of course used to be the state Supreme Court until it was purchased by Seattle, do they believe that the Seattle Supreme Court will find some way to pretend a graduated income tax is legal?
Yeah, definitely. I think you have a court ruling from back in the 1930s that says you cannot do that. And I think you're generous just saying Seattle. So I think the teachers union also has a majority share stakeholder in that, the Supreme Court. And they want the income tax also. So it's the unions and downtown Seattle that have fought the Supreme Court. But that is a great concern I have. And they are pushing very hard to get to their end goal, which is an income tax on working families. And they figure once they get that, then they can manipulate everything else in Washington State. And so we have to protect that at the end of the day against the income tax.
Right. And so here's how I think they're going to try this. And Doug Erickson is with us, Senator Erickson. What I think they're going to do, and here's what I think the Seattle Supreme Court's going to say. They're going to say that the tax is collected at a business level. It's not taken from the people. It's not income. It's potential income. It's really a business tax. It's an employee tax. It's a head tax. It's not income because it's in the business's hands. It hasn't hit you yet. I think they're going to point at that and say, see, it's not an income tax because we know this court's lied about how charter schools are funded. They struck down water rights for rural livers because they said a law was too old. I don't see them constrained in any way by the Constitution. I mean, is that a decent guess on how they justify this, Doug?
Yeah, no. What we have going on right now is a little bit of a tyranny of the court system, right? And you have a complicit legislature and a governor, and when they know they cannot win in the court of public opinions at the ballot box, because we still have a lot of Democrats, or not a lot, a few Democrats who will support us on this, they're going to go through that pathway you just laid out. So yes, you are correct, exactly in terms of what's happening in the court system.
Okay, so what can be done at this point? Who do we need to sway? Are there, I mean, I know there's some decent Democrats in the world. Clearly, my mom happens to be a Democrat, and most of my friends. Are there people down there who are Democrats we can sway and talk to about the morality about this? Or what do we need to do to convince them to not purposely hurt people?
Well, I hate to call out Democrats by name.
I don't think are you allowed to? I don't even think you're allowed to, right? I think that goes against Senate rules. Okay.
Well, I definitely could, but I don't want to put the pressure on them. But we definitely have a few Democrats in the Senate and the House, who still are don't want to go down this pathway. But I think the key thing going forward, right, is to keep the pressure on the legislature in general. We only have 21 days left in this current legislative session. And I don't think the Democrats have the votes, or not the Democrats, the far left has the votes to pass their radical tax agenda. So I think we can fight another day on this whole issue.
Okay, so phone calls to the legislature, do not pass the so-called energy tax, and I think, writing as well, telling people we think you're trying to hurt us. Does that carry weight in offices? When office holders get a note from a number of people saying, wow, they're on to us. They know we're trying to hurt them.
Oh, without a doubt. And the other great thing, going for us right now is we should not be talking about don't raise my taxes. We should be talking about relieve my taxes. We have $3 billion more in tax dollars coming into Washington State than we had a year ago, just based upon the economic growth we have seen in the last year. So right now, we should be talking about tax relief. We shouldn't be talking about tax increases.
No, it's phenomenal. We had your colleague Steve O'Ban on early this week who had predicted that was going to be the case. That is the case now. And again, I mean, it's an overused phrase. It's unconscionable. But I don't believe there's a conscience right now in the people who are running the tactics for Jay Inslee. So, yes, we need to keep that pressure on. Anything else of note coming up in this session? Anything else we need to keep our eye on, Doug?
Well, I think right now the key thing is getting out of Olympia, focusing on elections. But I just got to say, when Jay Inslee brings in John Kerry to be his number one wingman to support tax increases, they're in trouble in Olympia when that's your go-to guy. Yeah, and I was really worried that someone was going to fall asleep standing there when he was talking and hurt themselves. I don't want to see that. I appreciate you. It was something else.
Oh, I know. And his finger wagging at us, and at least, John Kerry came out here on the back of a donkey and didn't fly in an airplane. I mean, there's that to his credit. Hey, thank you, Doug. I appreciate you coming on, Senator. And
all right, take care.
Yeah, keep the good fight going. I appreciate you very much. Todd Herman Show will come back, wrap the day up with a personal note. Right now, though, we'll check traffic at the Right Way Traffic, brought to you by the Online Trading Academy.
In Tukwila, southbound I-5 on the exit 156 on-ramp to southbound I-5. There is a crash there. It is partially blocking the ramp, and so you've got a visual hazard, really, and that's why traffic is a bit sluggish in the area. Stop and go traffic through Bellevue, southbound 405 from 8th Street to Coal Creek Parkway, and southbound I-5, slow in two parts from Ravenna, from 50th Street to Mercer Avenue, and then slow again from 18 right up to 54th Avenue. You're listening to AM 770 KTTH.
If you need some flooring fast, avoid the hassle, save your gas, we'll drive the store to your door. Hate Carpet. Man, Emily, the freeway looks like a parking lot today. It's no wonder more and more people are choosing to shop at home. And that's exactly why Hate Carpet and Interiors has their fleet of vans full of flooring samples. We want to make floor shopping easy, so we'll drive the store to you. We come to your house, measure, show you samples, and give you a free estimate right in the comfort of your own home. If you need carpet, hardwood, plank flooring, or tile, let us make your shopping easy. You'll love Hate
If you are a functioning alcoholic, I want you to please get your life back. Call Schick-Shadel Hospital. End that tiring, destructive battle with addiction. Look, you have a career, you have families, you have interests that are hurting because of alcohol or other drugs. Schick-Shadel has a proven 10-day medical treatment. It works, and it'll work for you too. A recent scientific study proved Schick's success rate. No other program addresses the physical aspects of addiction and ends the cravings in just 10 days. You'll feel great again. Give them a call, 1-800-CRAVING. Schick is the #1 success-rated treatment for alcohol. And if you're a doctor, therapist, counselor, reconsider Schick-Shadel Hospital for your patients. Come meet the doctors, tour the facility, learn how they do it in just 10 days. The patients are living proof. Get your life back. Give Schick-Shadel a call, 1-800-CRAVING.
Physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital.
My investment advisor, a very, very sophisticated guy, by the way, is now telling many...
South 185 after Lake City and then working its way into Midway. Traffic brought to you by Michael's Toyota, Volkswagen, Subaru, Bellevue. 3 amazing brands, 1 local family, all at a single, easy-to-reach location right off I-90 at Eastgate. Cairo Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Tracy Taylor.
I'm Jim Futa, Director of Law Enforcement Services with Crime Stoppers at Puget Sound. During my 35-plus year law enforcement career, I've dealt with thousands of businesses that have lost millions of dollars to thieves. I recommend the security experts at 25/7 Protection in Tukwila. 25/7 uses perimeter detection, alerting you on your smartphone before a criminal enters your business or property. Automatically, pulsing lights flash. Talk to the criminal on the mobile PA system or set off a loud siren, stopping criminals before they do harm. 25/7 Protection has 10,000 square feet of security solutions, over 80 different high-resolution cameras, no costly fees or contracts. Don't trust your business security.
The remodel? Then comes
heartache and darkness. We hold on to God's word in Scripture. I have heard your prayer and seen your tears. I will heal you. We trust in that promise, and we hold fast to our fellow Americans in their time of sorrow. I want to speak now directly to America's children, especially those who feel lost, alone, confused, or even scared. I want you to know that you are never alone and you never will be. You have people who care about you, who love you, and who will do anything at all to protect you. If you need help, turn to a teacher, a family member, a local police officer, or a faith leader. Answer hate with love, answer cruelty with kindness. We must also work together to create a culture in our country that embraces the dignity of life, that creates deep and meaningful human connections, and that turns classmates and colleagues into friends and neighbors. Our administration is working closely with local authorities to investigate the shooting and learn everything we can. We are committed to working with state and local leaders to help secure our schools and tackle the difficult issue of mental health. Later this month, I will be meeting with the nation's governors and attorney generals. We're making our schools and our children safer will be our top priority. It is not enough to simply take actions that make us feel like we are making a difference. We must actually make that difference. In times of tragedy, the bonds that sustain us are those of family, faith, community, and country. These bonds are stronger than the forces of hatred and evil, and these bonds grow even stronger in the hours of our greatest need. And so always, but especially today, let us hold our loved ones close. Let us pray for healing and for peace. And let us come together as one nation to wipe away the tears and strive for a much better tomorrow. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
You know, what we're saying here is, you hear that. I think this has to be and can of utter terror. Now, you've been around gunshots. In an enclosed space like that, sometimes it's hard to tell where they're coming from. You're panicked. The moment you thought would never come has come. It is, in fact, less common than lightning. You are more likely to be killed by lightning than you are in a school shooting. And yet, there you are. It is happening. It takes the human mind a moment to adjust. So a janitor pushed a senior named David Hogg and other students out of the way of the shooter. A teacher named Melissa Okowski hid 19 students in a closet when the shooting erupted. And she in there with them. And a big man named Aaron Feist. Aaron Feist threw himself in front of students. Aaron Feist was a student at that school at one time. He was an alma mater. He graduated from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. He had gone there and become an assistant football coach. And he was described as a great big teddy bear, as a man with a heart as big as he was. But he heard the same sounds. He himself would have gone through a moment of disorientation. He himself would have taken a minute to realize this is real. But what he did at that time was certainly to get the students to safety, but when the safety wasn't available, this man took his sizable body and he blocked bullets. And Aaron Feist, I would guess, sometimes made fun of for his size. Sometimes perhaps savagely. And I say that because I had a dad who was his size. Large man. Heavy, we say. And I've been in stores with my dad when I was a little boy and saw kids make fun of my dad. I'll never forget being in Halpin's in Spokane, drugstore and everything store, looking for a birthday card for my grandpa with my dad, whom I loved, on a snowy day when a little kid, not meaning harm, followed my dad around the store saying, "Hey, Fat Albert. Hey, Fat Albert." And my dad loved kids, and he would say nothing, but when we got into the car, he was hurt. Why? Because my dad loved kids. Made fun of for his body size. Oh yeah, like Aaron Feist, I bet you Aaron could deliver a hit football. Try to block. They said he coached with kindness and attention. And my dad coached with kindness and attention, but he could break an axe handle over his team. I saw him do it. Never lost that hurt for being made fun of for his body size. He used to tell self-deprecating jokes about his birth. I don't know if Aaron Feist did that. But what I find so fascinating, looking at the picture of this kind man, what if he was smaller? What if he was a smaller man? When the gunshots rang out, 3 minutes, 180 seconds. You know that most people's minds wouldn't know what to do for the first minute. Now, I have a plan. Do you have a plan? you given your kids a plan? Most people, 60 seconds in, are just getting over the frozen point. Aaron Feist, football coach, used to pressure decisions, used to be big, charging in. That huge body saved how many kids? That huge body that maybe he was embarrassed of sometimes saved how many human beings? We are designed sometimes for a moment, sometimes for that second. From the football field to becoming an assistant coach there, to becoming beloved, to being seen as the teddy bear, to being seen as coach who could be tough and exacting, but a loving teddy bear. He was designed for that moment. There's a reason that a grown man stayed at that high school for so long, because in that moment, Aaron Feist did what Aaron Feist could do and others could not do. A smaller body wouldn't have caught the bullets. It wouldn't have been effective at blocking, like on the football field. One last block, one last play call, one more time. The runners get behind the big man. One more time. The big man takes one for the team. One last time. And his family, Aaron Feist's family, will grieve and they'll be supported, but they will know that their father was a man in full. God rest him. This is the Todd Herman Show. We air every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m. I'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Be well, be strong, and be kind.
David at Northwest Safe. Most safes look the same, but looks don't equal security. Before you buy a safe made in China from a warehouse store, visit Northwest Safe and see why Liberty safes are better.